Hello, beautiful people. How have you all been today? So, today I'm back with a bit of a ridiculous build. So, I was scrolling through Pinterest and I came across some really cool looking hexagonal homes. And they were sort of modular hexagons that were all connected together. And I think one was even a doomsday bunker. And I thought that was such a cool idea, and I really wanted to recreate something like it in The Sims. But however, the angled walls just weren't in my favor. They just did not want to work for me. So I ended up having to go with these really awkward looking hexagons, which didn't particularly look very nice as one floor. So I took all these awkward shaped ones and I stacked them up on top of each other, and I made it into sort of an apartment complex, or yeah, I'd call it an apartment complex. They're just lots of little homes in one. And it's definitely very interesting. It stung that I couldn't use the previous idea, but I'm really happy with how this one turned out. I think it was a really fun build, and it's just a bit silly. So the apartment style homes do have a little communal area downstairs with a laundry room and a little bar room and a little entrance room. And as you can tell already, it's very yellow. The exterior is very yellow, the interior is very yellow. I think I used possibly every single yellow item in The Sims, but I had a lot of fun doing it, and I think because it's such a silly build, no one's really going to want to download this and build in it. And it is a bit bizarre looking, and so I really did go all out, and it's just ridiculous. But I really enjoyed it. And anyway, speaking of ridiculous, I have been online shopping for Christmas presents because it's the week before Christmas, and I was just doing some online shopping in general. And I was looking through Catch.com, which is kind of like Amazon, but it's an Australian one. And they had a whole section of American food, and I was just having a quick squiz and I found their cereal section, which is already a dangerous idea. Because honestly, I love cereal. Like any breakfast food, really. Breakfast food is the best type of food. I would just have like breakfast, breakfast, and breakfast in a day and be quite content with that. That's like my ideal day of food, is just 3 breakfasts. And anyway, they were selling Cinnamon Toast Crunch, which may be possibly my favourite breakfast cereal of all time. And the only other time I've bought it, I think I paid like $20 for it, which is ridiculously overpriced. But I love cinnamon. I love cinnamon in breakfast food. Like cinnamon porridge with a bit of brown sugar. Oh, yum. It's like my favourite breakfast ever. Anyway, Catch was having a little sale on Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and I bought a box for $10, which is still kind of overpriced for cereal because it's not a huge box of cereal. Like you get a big box of Milo cereal, it's like $5. But I was willing to pay $10 for this little box of cereal. And it arrived. I was like, that was such a waste of money. And then I ate the cereal, and I was like, that was not a waste of money at all. Cinnamon Toast cereal, it's been a few years since I've had it, but I still think it's possibly the best thing ever invented. I love cinnamon. I love cereal. I love toast. Any combination of them. Maybe not toast cereal. That's a bit sad. It sounds a bit bland, but cinnamon toast, cinnamon cereal, cinnamon toast cereal. There's nothing wrong with it. It couldn't be more perfect if it tried. I don't want to know how much sugar is in it because it might hurt a little bit to find out, but I don't think anything could take me away from cinnamon toast cereal. It's incredible. It's the best. You may even say it's the bee's knees because we're building a beehive home. Anyway, back to the build. I just had to rant about the cereal for the minute. I did go in through and use the City Living trash chutes and the Snowy Escape mailboxes, the little wall mailboxes, which I'm pretty sure both of them come from the debug menu. And I think they were really fun. I think they added a lot to the build. It really made it seem like an apartment. So we're in the laundry room at the moment, and as you can see, I just put a wall of washer dryers. I used the little recycling bins from Snowy Escape as well, which I think is really cute. I definitely used a lot of packs in this one. I didn't think I should restrict myself because it's not going to be a very popular build. I know I wouldn't really want to play in it because it's just so ridiculous. But it was quite fun to build. I had a lot of fun. It gave me some really strong B-movie vibes, which I think is really important. I think if you're not getting B-movie vibes from your honeycomb house, then you're doing something wrong. I think the B-movie has a special place in my build. I think I probably should have found some like custom content paintings of Barry B. Benson and put them on every floor. I think I could possibly still do that. Maybe someone in the gallery has painted them and then I can go through and put them in every room. Maybe I'll build a little shrine to Barry B. Benson in my Beehive apartment build. I think that would be beautiful. I think that's just what the world needs at the end of quarantine and at the end of 2020. A B-movie home with B-movie shrines. I think that's beautiful. I put an absurd amount of bee boxes around, which could be dangerous because I put them right near where people sit and eat and where the children play. But these are friendly bees. You're living in their territory, in their beehive. They might just think you're a big bee, which is also beautiful. And there's lots of flowers and things around for the bees to pollinate because that's important. The bees need to be able to access their flowers because they're dying. We need to save the bees. And it's very impractical, this build, I think. I just can't get over it. I had so much fun building it. Like, this is probably one of my favorite builds. I didn't really have an idea of what I was doing. I knew I wanted to build something hexagonal. Originally, I really kind of wanted to build a doomsday bunker. That was where I was headed. That was what I'd seen on Pinterest. I was like, that's really cool. I want to build a modular hexagonal doomsday bunker. But when that didn't work out, I took a complete 360 and, well, I suppose it's a 180. I took a complete 180 and now we're here. We're building our bee apartment. It's all yellow. I used the hexagonal eco lifestyle flooring, which is really beautiful. It really helps add to the beehive aesthetic I have going here. And I think that's beautiful. I did end up with 5 apartments in total, 5 little ones. They're each very awkward. As you can see now, the bathrooms are on a really awkward angle. None of them get better. It doesn't really get better from here. I didn't want to change any of the interior walls. I didn't want to remove any of the beehive shape because I think that would take away from what I've built. It would ruin the beehive aesthetic. So I struggled with it. I tried to make each of the apartments look different from another. I didn't want them all to be the same. And in the end, I ended up with 5 little homes, which is enough to hold 13 Sims all up, I'm pretty sure. If my math is correct, which it probably isn't, but it should be 13. And most of them are a 1-bedroom apartment. I did fit in a couple of little 2-bedroom ones. The top floor is a little home in itself. I managed to fit a parent's room and a kids' room, which has 2 beds, so you could fit 2 little kids in there. And the top floor also has a really big lounge room and kitchen. Whereas these other little ones, I've got the lounge room and the kitchen in the one room, and the bedrooms in the other room. They're typically 2 hexagons big, which is a beautiful form of measurement. I also put a lot of cats and dog stuff throughout. I'm not sure why I did that. It doesn't really make sense. But I just think it looked cute. I think it was yellow. I just wanted to have as much yellow as I could fit. And there was the little yellow cat litter box, which I've never used, and I possibly will never use again. But it fit in this, and I like that. So this is one of the rooms that has the 2 bedrooms. I ended up shoving a lot of random things in corners of the rooms just to make things fit, because they looked a bit awkward with the random corners. You can't really fit a lot in a little triangle point. But I managed, and I got there in the end. The build should be fully functional. although I'm not too certain about the stairs because I did use fences to cut them off and open the flooring below up a bit, and currently that's not working. It says there's a fence there and your Sims can't walk past it. So if that ever gets fixed, then this build will be functional, or you will just have to close off the downstairs a bit more, which won't look as nice. It will open up some awkward looking shapes. But if you're happy to live with that, then this build is functional. I also got to use that really awkward city living rug, which I've never got to use, I don't think. I don't think I've ever used it in a build, and I think it's such a fun rug. And it just does not look normal anywhere, but because this build is so absurd, it fit in really well here. And I think that's really beautiful. If you do want to play in this, you could always lock some random Sims in and keep them trapped and pretend they live there, which in real life would probably be considered cruel, but in The Sims is just another Wednesday. And you could live on the top floor, which isn't cut off. There is a front door, but there's also kind of a random lounge room just chilling out in the hallway, which is the top floor's lounge room, but it's not sealed off. Anyone can go up there and use it. So I don't know about that. You could always shut it off and put a door if you wanted to, but I think that's nice. Maybe you just hang out with your neighbours on your top floor. Who knows? This build is ridiculous. That can't get any more ridiculous than having your neighbours come and hang out on your floor. I also really like these little balconies around. I didn't want to just stack the beehives on top of each other because I'm not a basic beach. So I used them for little balconies, and there was a lot. So some of them I did fill in with little plants and things, which I think looked really pretty. I think it was really nice. It brought a little bit of greenery to the build that just made it look better, which I think anything would make this build look better. So I also really like what I'm doing in this lounge room, or not the lounge room, the open kitchen dining. I think putting the platform and have the dining table behind it was kind of a fun idea. Like maybe they just chill up there and watch people cook dinner. You could always put the kitchen up there, but it would be really annoying to play with it in the corner. So I neglected to do that. And a lot of the lounge rooms, they did start to look the same after a while. I used a lot of the nifty knitting stuff. I used the yellow doors from that, which are really fun. And I used the yellow couches. And if you don't like yellow, this build is going to look absolutely disgusting to you. If you like yellow, then this is just mildly distasteful. And I enjoy yellow. I think it's kind of a fun colour. I think this is a fun build. It makes me happy, which is what yellow is typically supposed to do. So that's good. I definitely used all the builds. All the packs. I used them all. If you don't have all the packs, this is going to be possibly empty. But it's not made to be played in. It's not made to be a usable house. I don't know anyone who would want to play in this. I think it would become too much. I would play in this for like a day in The Sims time, and the yellow would be too much. I did put a lot of planters and things around. I tried to make it very indoor-outdoor living for your Sims because it is. I just imagined some like giant bee people living here though. That was all I envisioned, like Barry B. Benson cross like a real human. Probably what would come out of him and Vanessa. I said it, yeah, that's it. That's what it would be. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to implant that image in your mind, but that's all I thought of. Hope you don't. Or you will now, but sorry. I didn't mean it. I did, a little, but it's fine. We will soldier on. I also put a crib in here because I didn't really have room for another bedroom. I was going to just chuck a single bed in there, but I thought that was kind of weird. Like, maybe you don't really want to share a room with your parents as a child or a teenager. So I thought a crib made more sense. If you really want to live here and you really want to have a baby here, you can always upgrade it. You can always bust down some doors into the other apartments and just steal them and reclaim them for your own. Not that you would. Not that anyone would. Not that you would want to. But it's fine. We're nearly done with the second floor now, and we are moving on to the fourth apartment in the build, which I think if we ever get motels or the ability to have apartment complexes or something in The Sims, I think this could be something that you could use to play that in. You could always use it as a rental lot if you want to come to Newcrest and hang out in a bee resort. It would work. It would work as a hotel, maybe. I would stay here as a hotel if it was like a beehive hotel. That's much more fun than maybe living here permanently. It could be like those bee homes that you get for your backyard, and they're a little house and they've got little wood and things in there. They've just got things in there for your bees, which is cute. I think that's beautiful. I think we need bee hotels everywhere. Everyone should have a bee hotel. I also used these eco lifestyle. I used the same windows throughout. The eco lifestyle like fan opening shuttery window things. I think they really suited it. The wood color that I used throughout as well. I think that really suited the yellow because it was pretty yellow toned, which is nice. It's interesting. It's interesting. That sums up the pretty much the whole build. We're on the top floor now anyway. I put a massive bathroom in between. I know. This was the only time I broke my don't damage the honeycomb hive walls. But hear me out. This is where the queen lives. Like, the queen's not going to be on one of the measly bottom floors. She's going to be up here with her main children, obviously. There's a room for a boy and a girl, or a girl and a boy, or 2 girls, or 2 boys. It's fine. Whatever you would like. That's just what I imagined because I like to keep things equal. 2 boys, 2 girls. Like Sims in general. I think that's nice. I used a lot of things in this one. I like the desk, the little like my first pet stuff chair. It's something. I know my first pet stuff gets a bad rap, but I think the chair's kind of cute. And I've said this before, but I don't hate my first pet stuff. It had some alright things. It just should have been included with cats and dogs, even though none of the stuff in it matches the cats and dogs aesthetic. But that's fine. I also got to use the base game bed that has the sunflowers on it, the Vincent van Gogh bed, because I'm not sure why they have a Van Gogh bed or why that was their choice of bed, to have a sunflower and a starry night bed, but I think that's nice. I never get to use it, mostly because it's a bit weird, but it's fine. I got to use it in this one, and that made me happy. I used the Star Wars lounge. I used every pack, for sure. There was not a single pack that's not in here. Oh, maybe fitness stuff. Ooh, I don't think I used anything from fitness stuff. Oh, I probably did. I probably used like one thing from fitness stuff because it's just not a good pack either. Or maybe Moschino stuff I didn't use either. No, there's definitely something from there. There's a lot. It's a lot. This whole build is just, it's a lot. It's bizarre. I know I've already said that. I can't come up with many bee puns. I did try. I googled some. There's not many. It's kind of stung. Yeah, I've used that one before as well, but what you gonna do about it? Sting me? You can't. You're not a bee. I'm sorry. This is taking a wild turn. Anyway, we're nearly done with this one in the kitchen. And I think I just went on to the backyard after this, which it's pretty unfortunate if you live downstairs because the backyard is definitely more of a communal space as well. And the 2 downstairs apartments don't really have any personal space of their own, which sucks to be them. They should have gotten a higher apartment. There's definitely lots of space. There's lots of florals, there's lots of bee things. I really like the sunflower rug as well. I think that's really fun, and I did put some sunflowers on the walls. I have never got to use that rug in that shade either. As much as I would like to, it just does not fit anywhere in my builds. So this was really fun. I really like being able to build things like this, where I just don't really have to worry about it looking actually good, because it can just look like a hot mess and still be really fun and really enjoyable. This is probably one of my favourite builds I've actually done. Not aesthetically. Aesthetically, it looks like rubbish. It looks like the little recycling can. But realistically, not realistically, this is not realistic. You would not find this anywhere in real life. realistic to The Sims. It was fun. I added a lot of kids things. I don't know why I thought this would be such a family friendly place. It's probably all the yellow that gave it away. But I had a lot of fun doing this. I really like putting the half wall and putting the flowers over it and making another little beehive shape. I don't know why I really enjoyed that, but I got a lot of happiness from that. I shoved as many kids items as I could. Obviously a pool, toddler things, kids tables, basketball court, everything you could possibly want. There's 3 little outdoor tables and they each have their own little yellow barbecue. And then I put a ridiculous assortment of trees. I did change some of them. I put the lantern trees from movie night stuff because it just looks stupid having like 10 of the same trees surrounding it. So I did go and change them. The lantern trees are really pretty. I put the little light up trees inside the American beach trees, I think they are. Put more flowers around them because flowers are important. I think if you're going to build a bee house with lots of bees, you need to have flowers. That's it. That's all I have to say. I am going to go now. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this build. I hope you had a Merry Christmas because it's just passed. I really like Christmas. I'm sad it's over, so I'm getting it all in now. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a fun time. We're in the screenshots now. If you want to download this for some absurd reason, I will put the tag in my bio, the description. I hope you have a good day. I hope you enjoyed this beautiful build, and I hope all you little bees enjoy the rest of your day and have a wonderful time. Bye!